Hi, this is Chancellor with Stamp Art Connection, and stampartconnection.com. Okay. Um. Anyway, I'm coming to you live, and I wanted to show you a card that that I've got some interest in to use this set and make a masculine birthday card. So here is the masculine birthday card. And I wanted to demonstrate how easy it is to use this set and with your Stamparatus. But I also kind of wanted to show you some of the other fun things I'm doing. I think I've posted this. I'm having a lot of fun with this Clever Cats stamp set. If you have this or if you buy it from me, I can give you the information for how to make these, give you a PDF. But look at this. Isn't this cute? And all I did is I used an embossing folder, if you can kind of see how it's embossed on the side. And I did some special stamping, and that's what I would show you. And then this one, of course, is so cute because it's the big cat on the broom. And of course, you've seen this one. I love my wobbles, and I love this die. And it's in my description. I just love that. But I made this one, which is my favorite right now. This is a waterfall card. And you just open it up, and you have all these neat images that I made using this stamp set. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. So that is a waterfall card that I made using the stamp set. Just love it. Okay, so let me put that aside and let me just get started with this one here. Now, what you need to do this card is since this is a masculine card, and I made two of these. I made one on a piece of 5 1/4 by 4, but you can see that I didn't put it completely up to the edge so that I had a little bit of the happy kind of fall off the end when I was stamping it. So what I did is I just took a piece of the plain cardstock and I cut this in half, right at 4 1/4, and here's 5 or 10 or whatever this is here. And then I went ahead and I used my Stamparatus, and I got it as closely as I could to the top so that I could get all of my stamps lined up neatly on my Stamparatus. And then I used the rectangle stitch framelit dies, and I have it turned over right here. It fits into this nesting, but I used this to come up with our little sentiment right there. Now, for this card here, I'm going to use the happy stamp and the birthday, and I'm going to put the where's my birthday? This is thanks, hello. Yeah, this is birthday. I'm going to take this one out because these are the two stamps I'm going to use from the Biggest Wish. This is really a cool card. Now, the colors I used for this particular card are, I used a basic gray, and that is the this color right here. Then I stamped off, and then I used crumb cake, and that's this color here, stamped off, and then I used basic gray again. Okay, so that's kind of my color choice. The paper here comes from the Stamping Celebrations paper that was offered, and this is the Peaceful Prince. The Peaceful Prince paper has some wonderful plaids that are very masculine patterns for a male card. So if you took advantage of celebrations, then I hope you picked up this paper pack because I think it's just wonderful. So I'm going to use this light color here, and this is Whisper White and Sahara Sand. So this is the DSP I'm going to use. So that's what I used for this card, and that's what you see here. And then I used a piece of soft suede, and it's just a piece of paper. I didn't have any ribbon, but I thought, you know, just a strip of cardstock would be well enough. So let's go ahead and get started. As I said, what you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and it's going to be cut at 4 4¼ We're going to score it at 5 1/2. You're going to need a piece of soft suede, and then a 2-inch by 5 1/2, because when we score this is going to fit perfectly over there. So let me bring in my board and let's score this at 5 1/2 right there. And I've got my bone folder right here, and I'm just going to go ahead, and I want to really crease this down really well. Really want to crease this really well because we're going to have to stick this into our Stamparatus. So when I do that, you can see that this piece, 2 inches by 5 1/2, is going to fit perfectly right there. Then I've got a piece of soft suede that I'm going to place right in there, and I'm just going to basically cut that using my little cutter. And I'm just going to kind of do that maybe yeah, that's good enough. I could even tuck this behind. I might even do that. Just kind of tuck that behind there. Okay, so those pieces are done. Now let's go ahead and bring in our die. Bring in my little die cut machine. And if I had, oh, I do have a smaller piece. Oh, look, I have even a smaller piece. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to put this in here. There we go. Put this back in here, roll this in. Little place under my desk, then I go ahead and I put that. And then I'm just going to push this paper out like that. Okay, and there is my piece for my sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and put this over here. All right, so now let's bring in our Stamparatus. So I have my Stamparatus right here, and I'm going to place my cards. This card is going to go right here in this corner, and it's going to go right up against that. And then I'm going to use these nice flat magnets because I want to make sure that this is going to stay right there. And then I'm going to see where I put my stamps that I had pulled out. And I pulled them out and I put them somewhere. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to change this up. And if I can't do happy birthday, then I'm going to do I'm going to do thanks, and I'm going to do friend. So here's my Stamparatus. I have my paper in here very tightly. I'm going to put my thanks as closely up to the top, right about there. I'm going to put my plate in. All right, you see how I have it right there. Now I'm going to go back out because this is, I want you to kind of see this part. It's up at the top. We're going to go ahead, and the colors that I'm going to use for this are going to be the colors that come with this paper. And that is the Sahara sand, and I want to use the soft suede because that's what my my little piece of paper is, and I don't want to lose those, so I'm going to just put those right there. Okay, so what I'm going to start out with, now notice how when I did this, I kind of started out with a dark color, stamp off a main color, and then stamped off, and then the dark color again. So my dark color is going to be the soft suede. I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. Okay, and there's my thanks. Now, and if I need a little bit more ink, I can always like restamp it. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to shift it down one, and this is my stamp off. Okay, so I'm stamping off now. And there's my shadow thanks. Now I'm going to shift over to my Sahara sand, and I'm just going to ink that up. Oops. Oh, doggone it. You know what I did? I forgot to move it down. So I'm just going to leave that like that, because what we have to do is we don't want to forget to move it down. Okay. And let me just go ahead and stamp that. And there it is, much cleaner. And then I'm going to bring it down. And then this is going to be the shadow. And then I'm going to use my last, it's going to be the dark color. Up, I got to move it down, and there you go. For thanks. Okay, so that, and you can see where I kind of messed up because what I did is I kind of stamped in a little bit, but I think it looks pretty good. A little bit too much color, but I think it's going to look just fine. Or rather, the colors are a little bit too much the same, but I really don't care. We're going to go ahead and go with that. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put this aside. And I'm going to pull in this. And I'm going to grab my thanks. I have to pull that off my Stamparatus. I'm going to do the Sahara sand. And I have to bring in my mat because this is photopolymer. And we're just going to go ahead and put thanks right there. I'm going to take that off. And then I'm going to grab my soft suede. And we're going to put friend right across it. And I think that looks really cool. Okay, so now everything else is just making a regular card. You're just going to go ahead and take this. We're going to put our strip first right there. And I'm going to open up my card like this. And I'm just going to go ahead and get some glue. And let me use my silicone mat right here and get some glue. Just going to glue this like that. And I'm going to put this right over where I had that little boo-boo. I'm going to put that right there. So there you go. Here's how you use your Stamparatus to go ahead and make some very masculine cards using a monochromatic, just some plain colors, and especially using that paper that was available in Celebrations. So I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for joining me. This is Cat Chancellor, Stamp Art Connection and StampArtConnection.com. Happy stamping.